Have you ever wondered why the kindest people often look the most exhausted? Why the ones who always show up, always help, always smile, seem to carry a quiet weight behind their eyes? Maybe it's because kindness, when shaped by fear or old wounds, slowly becomes a silent burden we learn to hold alone. And maybe the truth behind that burden reveals more about the human soul than we realize.
We grow up believing kindness is pure light, yet rarely question the shadows forming underneath it. What happens when kindness becomes survival instead of choice? When pleasing others becomes the currency for feeling valued? Today, we explore the psychology and philosophy behind kindness, the part no one warns us about, and how reclaiming it begins with finally choosing ourselves.
It often starts early, when a child learns that being agreeable earns affection. Their nervous system records this exchange, merging kindness with safety. As they grow, the world praises them for being reliable, patient, and endlessly giving. But beneath that praise, a deeper pattern forms, a belief that their worth depends on meeting everyone else's needs before their own.
Over time, kindness becomes a mask they forget how to remove. When kindness comes from fear of rejection rather than genuine care, it stops being kindness at all. It becomes emotional armor. And armor, when worn too long, grows heavy. The person beneath begins to suffocate in silence, torn between wanting to give and longing to be seen.
You've probably met people who give endlessly, who listen for hours, who sacrifice rest just to show up for others. It looks noble, even admirable. But if you've lived that role, you know the hidden truth. Each act of self-sacrifice whispers a quiet question: when is it my turn? Yet that voice is buried because their identity is fused with being the kind one.
Psychologists call this compassion fatigue, a state where empathy drains faster than it replenishes. It doesn't only impact caregivers or professionals. Anyone who consistently prioritizes others over themselves risks emotional depletion. Research shows these patterns increase anxiety, lower mood, and affect physical health, proving that unchecked kindness slowly erodes the self.
Kindness without boundaries becomes self-erasure. It's like watering every plant except your own roots. Over time, the gardener collapses and everything they nurtured begins to wither. This is the paradox. The more someone gives without rest, the less capacity they have to truly offer meaningful care.
There's also a quieter danger. When people are known for their kindness, others begin to assume it's endless. They stop asking what the kind person needs. Without meaning to, the world learns to treat their feelings as negotiable. Kindness becomes a signal that their needs will always come last. This silent expectation is a heavy burden, often leading to burnout and emotional exhaustion. The kindest hearts need care too, but are often the last to receive it.
This creates an invisible loneliness. The kinder they are, the more invisible they become. What looks like peace on the outside often hides a profound emptiness inside, a sense of disappearing while everyone praises them for how good they are. It's not malice, it's conditioning. People assume self-sacrifice is their natural role.
But genuine kindness flows from abundance, not depletion. It heals instead of corrodes. Studies show altruism increases well-being only when it's voluntary. When kindness comes from fear, guilt, or obligation, it becomes a psychological trap that lowers happiness and increases stress, turning virtue into quiet suffering.
This cycle often begins in childhood, especially in environments where love feels conditional. When care depends on obedience or self-sacrifice, children learn to equate worth with pleasing others. As adults, they adopt personas that prioritize harmony over honesty, thinking kindness means never causing disappointment. The truth is more complex. Neuroscience reveals that our mirror neurons make empathy feel natural, but they don't distinguish between healthy compassion and harmful overextension. Without boundaries, the brain floods with stress responses, leading to exhaustion. We are wired for connection, not for endless emotional labor.
And so the darker emotions collect quietly. Anger, frustration, and resentment don't disappear just because someone suppresses them. They ferment beneath the surface, emerging as irritability, passive aggression, or emotional burnout. What people call the monster within is often just unspoken truth demanding space.
Boundaries are the antidote. They aren't rejection or selfishness, they're clarity. A boundary says, I can give from abundance, but not from depletion. People who honor their limits build deeper trust because when they say yes, it is wholehearted. Authenticity strengthens relationships far more than silent suffering ever will.
Yet, setting boundaries feels terrifying to those who tied their identity to kindness. Saying no feels like betrayal. Some relationships may resist these changes, revealing dynamics built on one-sided giving. While painful, these shifts uncover where mutual respect truly exists and where it was merely convenience. There's also the concept of pathological altruism, where helping harms both giver and receiver. Constant rescuing prevents others from growing and drains the giver's well-being. What appears noble turns into dependency and resentment, proving that kindness without balance can distort into something damaging. Masks built from kindness are heavy. When someone smiles to hide exhaustion or agrees to avoid conflict, they lose pieces of themselves. Real kindness emerges only when the mask comes off, when both yes and no carry honesty. It thrives when the person offering it feels whole rather than depleted.
Masks built from kindness are heavy. When someone smiles to hide exhaustion or agrees to avoid conflict, they lose pieces of themselves. Real kindness emerges only when the mask comes off, when both yes and no carry honesty. It thrives when the person offering it feels whole rather than depleted. This authentic self-expression is the foundation of genuine connection and sustainable empathy. Without it, the act of giving becomes a silent burden, leading to resentment and burnout.
True kindness begins with how we treat ourselves when no one is watching. Resting when tired, forgiving mistakes, and honoring emotions form the foundation. When inner compassion grows, kindness toward others becomes brighter and more sustainable. It comes from overflow, not obligation, and lifts everyone rather than draining the giver.
So the real danger in kindness isn't the presence of anger or limits, it's abandoning yourself while trying to earn love. Once you face this truth, kindness transforms. It becomes sharper, healthier, and rooted in authenticity. It becomes compassion that sustains rather than destroys, healing both the giver and those around them.
If this message resonates, take a moment to reflect on where your kindness comes from: fear or freedom, depletion or abundance. And if you found value here, like the video, subscribe for more psychological and philosophical insights, and share your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments so we can grow together.